Hey guys, I'm Shawn coming at you from Waco, Texas. Great city to visit if you guys want to take a vacation. Waco's really awesome, if I do say so myself. Well, today we're going to learn how to play a song that I love called Our House by Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young. Okay, let's get to it. I'll light the fire. Help me with the word, Shawn. Na 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 da 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 na na na. All right. Don't remember the words there, but I know the melody. And guys, if you follow me, you know that I'm terrible at remembering the lyrics, but great song, isn't it? All right, welcome to webpianoteacher.com, where we gather together to learn, play, and share the music that we love, creating a culture of encouragement for all you guys out there who are trying to learn to play piano online. You can do it if you pick the right lessons and you know how to practice. I'm going to help you to do that right now. Let's get to it. Okay, so here's our sheet, and I teach the whole song. This is just the tip of the iceberg, and you may think, oh, the chords just repeat. Some of that is repeating, but it's played in a different way, and there's some other things to be learned in the song. And I do take you all the way through it. It's a very cool song, and it's not that hard. It is chord-based, so if you are a beginner, okay, or, even beyond that, of course, but even beginners, I think, can try. Maybe you played a couple of songs, and then you get to this one. I think you can do it. So it's not that hard. So that's involved in picking the right lesson. Don't pick something too hard. I say that all the time, but I've seen so many people quit piano not because they can't do it. They think they can't do it, but the reason they think they can is because they've tried songs that are too hard. They've tried to skip over everything else and go to a hard song because that's what they want to do, and then they get frustrated and quit. You have to do the groundwork first. You have to learn a ton of easier songs first, and then you graduate and are able to play some of those more difficult things. But the great thing about music is that some of the best songs in the world are easy, like this one, okay? Now, you also want to make sure it's a song you like, so don't play this one just because I said it's a beginner song. If you really like the song, let's do it. The second thing is for practicing, remember, small sections. Here a little, there a little. Take one small section, try to get that down, right hand, left hand, put them together. Go to the next measure, same thing. Put the chain together. You know how we do things here on Web Piano Teacher. That's the best way to learn, I'm telling you. So let's get to the board. All right, so we're going to just look at the chords here. And we're going to even talk about the names of the chords because I like to teach the song, but also, what's going on with the chords. That's interesting too. Because it's all related, music theory, chords, and so forth. We are in the key of A, so that means we're going to have some sharps that come up, okay? I almost said sharps to worry about, but I don't want you to worry, all right? I want you to think of these sharps as naturally occurring in music, in the key of A. So if I played an A scale, if you've never done that, you can do that along with me. A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. So we just follow the alphabet starting with an A, but the C is sharp, the F, and the G. So we have those three sharps, F sharp, G sharp, and C sharp, that are going to happen over and over in this song. Will there be other sharps? Maybe, but definitely those three. So get used to those, okay? So when you see them, they don't take you by surprise. We're going to start with an A chord, A, C sharp, E, left hand on an A, right below middle C. On the right hand, I'm just right above middle C, A, C sharp, E. Bum, 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 bum. All right, so I know the first words are, I'll light the fire, okay? I know there's a vase in there somewhere. Bum, bum, bum. All right, you place the flowers in the vase, something like that. All right, so you have A chord, and then we're just going to play another A chord, but we're going to add G sharp to that mix, okay? So really what you would call that chord, as I turn to the side, is an A, like a fraction, You ever done fractions? Well, you have an A on the top, and then underneath you have a G sharp. So think of it as an A chord with a G sharp bass. A over G. G sharp, A over G sharp. Think of it that way. All right. So we're just adding a G sharp underneath so that the chord still makes sense to you in your mind. It's an A chord with a G sharp on the bass. Yes, there's dissonance, but dissonance is beautiful, especially when we resolve it on the next one. So what's happening here? The same thing, another A, but look, F sharp on the bottom. Okay, what are we going to call that? All right, right, as I turn to the side again, we can either call it an F sharp minor 7, which is probably the preferred way in the music theory standard way of teaching. F sharp A, C sharp E, F sharp minor 7. But I'm going to show you another way to think of it, that actually this is kind of the way I hear it sometimes. I hear an A chord over an F sharp bass, because that's what an F sharp minor 7 really is. It's an A chord with an F sharp bass. So that's a different way of thinking of it. And I think if that makes more sense to you, then think of it that way. Music theory is just making sense of chords. And sometimes our brains work differently, right, than other people, and what a book might say about it. So if that works for you, A chord over F sharp bass. Back to the board. So there it is. The next one is another A chord with an E bass. Now, by this point, you probably noticed the left hand is descending. Okay. There, and it is going down to an E. So what do we call that? Well, that's an A chord over an E bass, even though an E's, part of an A chord anyway. That's how you can think of it. So here we go. 2 counts on each. I'll light the fire. You place the flowers in the... It's not vase, right? Vase. Vase. Starting to remember the words. A, D, F sharp. 1, 3, 5. Left hand on a D. So that's going to be a D chord. D, F sharp, A. Okay? Even though it's not like this, in root position. It's mixed up. Now, don't let that freak you out just because it's not in the right order that you want it to be in, okay? What makes something a D chord is the ingredients of the chord, not the order. If it has D, F sharp, and A in it, then you know it's a D chord. And you have to play a while before that starts to become instinct. Okay, it's not going to automatically ring a bell for you. But when you see that, D, F sharp, A, that's a D chord in this song, in another song. And it doesn't just happen in the key of A. It can happen in the key of D, happen in the key of G, key of E. You're going to see D chords everywhere. So just try to remember that. D, F sharp, A, okay? Back to the board. Oh, here we are. We're up here. And then we have another A chord with a C sharp bass. Now here's another one of those ones that we can call a B minor 7. Look, I can say that's B, D, F sharp, A, which is perfectly legit. Nothing wrong with that at all. In fact, that's probably the preferred way for people when you're talking about the chord. Or you can think about it as a D chord over a B bass. Okay? That might make sense for you. And then we have, actually we should have been down here, right? Yeah, C sharp. And then we have a D chord, remember that? D, F sharp, A. Then F sharp on the bass. And still a D chord with an E bass. Okay? So, I call these chords, I don't know what the real term for them is, but I call them stacked chords. In fact, we talked about this when we did our Carole King podcast recently. So if you haven't seen that, check it out on YouTube. Yeah, we even wrote a song, my wife and I did, in the style of Carole King. It's pretty good. She sings it, and I play the piano for it. And we talk about stacked chords because Carole King used them all the time. But not just her. Everyone else would do them too. Not nearly as much as her, I don't think, but you have them. And so here's another one where you have a D chord over an E bass. So it's just, a way of thinking about chords. All right, back to the board, and we're going to go through it. 2 counts on each. Dun, 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 1, 2. Dun, 1, dun, 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 1, 2, dun, 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 1, 2. But the last 2 chords are quarter notes. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, so these very last 2 chords are quarter notes instead of half notes. Well, I took a very simple lesson and made it longer. I thought maybe I'd teach you something in this, learn a little bit about chords, because every little thing you learn will help you not only in this song, but every other song you learn on webpianoteacher.com. By the way, we have thousands now of lessons on there. Surely you can find a ton of songs that you love that you can learn on the site. Guys, I'll see you on the website. Hope you enjoyed this lesson.